I picked up some masa mix at the local Latino grocery store at the bottom of Maryvale, La Tienda or something like that. It's got a name that I can't pronounce, and I'm going to show you. It's just basically corn flour. I follow the recipe on the back, and I'm going to show you how to make your own tortilla chips. Alright, so there's my dough. The recipe on the bag is 2 cups of the corn flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 1/4 cups of water. And it says to then mix that all up and then add a tablespoon of water at a time until it's just right. And I had to add 3 tablespoons of water in order to get it just right. So then I divided it in 3. This is 1/3 of the total amount. Basically, I got some parchment paper here. I hate using parchment paper. I keep meaning to pick up one of those sheets of whatever that stuff is called that you can reuse. I hate using parchment paper because you got to throw it out. Yeah, some kind of silicone thing. My wife just whispered to me. Got to pick up some of those. So you just basically roll it out slowly on the parchment paper. You want to get it thin. Probably about as thin as pie crust. It's about the consistency of pie crust, although there's no fat in it like there is for pie crust. And basically, whoops, it's getting caught up there. Basically just roll it out thin, and keep in mind the size of the cookie sheet that you're going to be using. You don't want to go over the dimensions of the cookie sheet. Once we cut it, we're going to put the parchment paper onto a cookie sheet. You can see I've used this parchment paper already several times. I made the first 2 batches already from this. I told you I divided it in 3. So, whoops. Try to get it as thin as you can, but you don't got to be crazy. It's nice to have thicker chips, actually. They can really hold the salsa better, and they don't come apart. Oh, this isn't rolling out as well as the first 2 did, but we'll get there. A little bit of patience. Whoops. We'll get there. A little bit of patience. Let's go. And then once you get it rolled out, you cut it with a pizza cutter. It's really easy to do. And then you bake it. I did 450 for 15 minutes on the first batch, and that was perfect. That's with a convection. I did 450 for 13 minutes on the second batch, and they burnt a little bit. There's my second batch right there, actually, just a little bit burnt, so the oven was obviously a bit hotter for the second batch. But they're so good. They're just beautiful, beautiful chips. This is the first time I made them, and I'm truly amazed at how well it turned out. It was just an experiment for me. I wasn't really going off of a recipe except what was on the bag. It didn't say on the bag how to... They wanted you to fry it on the bag, fry it in a pan. I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to bake it, and I tried 450 at the times I just gave you, and it worked out well. A little bit of tweaking this time. I turned the oven down to 435 for this batch, and I'll check them at 13 minutes and see what happens. Now, when you're cutting it, to get the corn chip, the triangles, you cut first straight, like this. Cut it straight. You don't worry about the end pieces, big deal. And then you cut on the diagonal, the first diagonal. And you don't have to really aim at anything when you're doing the first diagonal. Just go willy-nilly, doesn't matter. Roughly 45 degrees. And then on the second diagonal, what you want to do is you want to trace from corner to corner. So you're going to be zigzagging all over the place. Into the corners, into that corner, into this corner, boom. And then chase the corners. Way down here for this one, way over there, way down there. And chase the corners. There. Now you see, I've got some wonderful looking chips. I'm just going to go get my pan. I hope it's cool enough to touch. Yes, it is. Well, just about. I should have my glove on. Now, I just grab the two ends of this. You can't see the pan. It's out of your picture over here. I'm just holding it on my leg on the side of the counter. And I just go, bloop, pull that right on there. And I throw it in the oven like that. 450, that's on a convection oven, for maybe 13 minutes. I'm trying 435 right now. Experiment a little bit with your oven, it'll be different. Absolutely wonderful. My next experiments are going to be putting other stuff in, mixing stuff into the flour, like different kind of herbs or spices or whatever, mix it right into the flour to make flavored chips. Yes, my son's whispering more salt. He likes salt just like his mom. And that's it.